Page 12, We Three Kings of Orient are. 3/4 time, 1 flat in the key signature. This one is a little different. This one is sort of in F major, which is 1 flat, and also D minor, which is 1 flat. If you're doing the scales, you should be doing each of these scales. Just make sure I got videos on the scales. Go do that stuff. Let's take this one hand at a time, make sure we got the fingering and all. I have a couple suggestions. Right hand, when it comes in here, is pretty straightforward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's held down forever. Measure 12. After the repeat sign, you just come up. You got rest, you got time. Don't forget to be flat. And then you can cross over. Now there's other fingers we could use in here for measures 16 and 17 or whatever. That's fine. Let's just do what the book is saying. It's fine. And then for measure 21, they want you to use 4th finger. Well, I'm already using 4th finger on measure 20. They want you to use 4th finger again. No, I don't recommend it. We have repeated notes here on the Fs. You got 3 of them. You got plenty of time. You want 4th finger by the last F. You need 4th finger on the note, but it doesn't have to be immediately. So I'm here. I could use 3rd finger on the first one and then 4th finger. And that's what I'm recommending you do. So on measure 21, it's 3 and then 4. Okay. Then on measure 29, so measure 28, you're 4, and then measure 29, your thumb. Again, it's a repeated note, and we can change hand positions on repeated notes. It's fine. Then on measure 33, it's 1, then 4. Again, repeated notes. You've heard it before. Last 2 lines. This is the, which measure? 38 measure. You've got a half note. They've got a 1/5. I would recommend you do a 1/3. And the reason is because I'm closer to this. Now you have plenty of rest. You got time to move. You can do that. You got plenty of time to move up. It's just I like to feel my way around, and I can come closer to feeling that 4 if I stay at 1/3 and then here. And connect this to this. Try and get that down at the same time. I'm just lowering the weight down. I'm just changing fingers. Push the measure 40 down the note. Ring 4th finger, and then I raise the wrist and I lower the wrist. I simply switch fingers, and the weight pushes the notes down, not the fingers. Here, and then bass clef, and the left hand finishes it. Speaking of left hand, what do we got here? The beginning, the introduction. We could use other fingerings, but they just create a different problem. I can solve this problem of connecting this by going 1/4. The problem is I'm ending on a 5th finger, and I don't want it because I need 5th finger again. So so just use the fingering in the book is fine. You're using thumb twice. And broken chords. Measure 12, 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 1. Going down. And measure 16, 3, 1 there, so I can use 4, 2 here and connect them, and then just come down. Okay, for the most part, that's the left hand. Now let's go down to the bottom of page 13. The last line, you're here, and come down. No rest, just lift up and move. And then the last few measures, it's here, and that last chord, that is an F and an A. You really should know those notes. You should know the F. You can see it, so it's right above the 2nd ledger line. And you know what a interval of a third looks like in music, I hope, and you just know if that's an F, that's an A. Well, that gets back to the method book. And I don't know what you've learned from the method book or not. Put the hands together, starting at measure 5. When they're playing together, you're here. repeat this, but let's go on for now. Let's just be measure 12. The fermata I'll talk about a little bit later. Just go on. I don't see anything tricky in here for you. Let's go down to the last line on page 13. You're up here. And these are all quarter notes now. You got to get off of this and get down here. I want to connect this. So it's just a broken chord going all the way up. Here. That's fine. And connect it all together. Not that fast, of course, but that's the idea. For the articulation, you have phrasing in the right hand. I suggest you connect this left hand all the way through. They have it. You can do that if you want. I just connect it. And then I would connect the left hand all the way through. Notes. It's the right hand that has the phrasing, but then you got rests. At the bottom of the page, page 12, the last two measures here, lift up. Here, the O is by itself. There's a difference of opinion on that. So it's the left hand I'm connecting. So this is the last two measures of page 12, huh? Measures 18 and 19. Difference of opinion here. Some people will have take a breath. Here, but connect the left hand. So here, but this is connected. Other people will connect it. Oh, star. If you do that, connect both hands. You decide which way you want to go and stick with it. Or your teacher will decide for you, and that's fine too. Dynamic supply to the melody. At the beginning, there is no melody. It's just moderately loud here. Whatever you think moderately loud, it's just sort of loud. But when you get to measure 5, the melody is moderately loud, and the left hand has to go down to soft. So this takes over the moderately loud. You see in measures 8 and 9, when you have this, all the time you're doing this, I want to hear that. I want to hear the melody note. And then on measure 12, the melody is, you're moderately loud again, is still moderately loud. The left hand stays soft. There on measure 20. Your crescendo. The left hand goes up to about a moderately loud. That's loud. So it's now you're loud in the right hand. The left hand is just sort of a moderately loud to a moderately soft in there. Keep it in the background. And you're staying loud more or less until measure 35 or 36. You start coming down. Moderately soft, and this is both hands here at the end from measure 37 on. And it's staying at moderately soft pretty much all the way to the rest of the end. The rest of the end. I make no sense at all. Hopefully you'll figure out what I'm trying to say. I think you can get a little softer there at the end. If you want to come down to soft, that's fine. Somewhere in there, you just feel it. Speed. Well, I've heard this at a lot of different speeds. Some people will. To me, that's way too fast, but I've heard people playing and singing it at that. It's a sort of the people walking, although it's hard to walk to a 3/4 time signature. Just the beat. 1, 2, how if you were going to walk. Don't drag it. Because if you drag it, It just says, oh no, will this ever get over? Yuck. So don't drag it, but you don't have to speed through it either. It's somewhere in the middle. Now they've added pedal, and that's okay because again, we'd like the overtones on it. They're overlapping pedal throughout, and you're changing it basically with each measure, with the harmony. If I do it that way, it sounds like this. Notes go down first and then the pedal, and change it after I play the notes so it overlaps. For the most part, that's okay. If you want to hear any of the phrasing in the right hand, you have to lift the pedal with the right hand. For instance, at the bottom of the page, the last two measures on page 12 is measures 18 and 19. It's here. If I want to hear silence, I got to lift the pedal with the right hand. Keep the left hand connected. Don't lift the left hand. And if you're not going to connect it between measure 20-21, then you lift the pedal with the hands. If you're going to connect it, then you can go ahead and overlap pedal. Remember, I'm connecting the left hand, but I'm lifting up in the right, so I'm going to lift the pedal up with the hand. But if you're going to connect it, you just overlap it. So you decide which way you're going to go. And that's pretty much the pedaling. You can experiment with the pedaling and the sounds and what you like and don't like to hear. It's fine. I can offer some suggestions, but I'm just going to complicate it if I do. So this is fine the way it's written. Again, please don't copy me on it. You got to experiment with it, make it yours, try different things out, get into feeling it, interpreting it, and have fun with it. Let's play it together very slowly just to check all the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I'm going to play both hands about the same. We're not performing it, we're just playing it. On the fermata, on measure 20, I'm going to hold that 6 counts instead of 3. I'm going to double it because I got to stay with the metronome. So I'll give us 3 counts and let's try. And we are going to do the repeats there. 1, ready, go. Repeat. hold, 2, go on. Tie, 2, 3,